Hello all. So today we will be discussing about mutations, DNA damage and its effect on DNA, and after that we will be discussing some net questions. So first we will discuss about some terms. First one is mutation. Mutation, they are the sudden changes in the genome giving rise to alternative forms of any gene. Second is mutagens. Mutagens, they are the substances that can cause mutations. Third are mutagenesis. This is the process by which a mutation is produced. And fourth are mutant. That is the organisms having new phenotype because of a mutation. Now, properties of mutation. Mutations are generally recessive. They can be either harmful, beneficial or neutral. Thirdly, mutations are random. Like it's not fixed, okay, mutation will be taking place here only. And fourth, mutation can be recurrent, like same mutation may occur again and again. Now we come to role of mutation. What is the benefit of mutation? Mutation causes variation resulting in allele formation, which ultimately leads to evolution. So here we will be discussing about the mechanism by which tautomeric shifts in the bases in DNA cause mutations. So here we have a parental strand having GC sequence. Then during DNA replication, as we know, the two strands separates. So here is G. This G is a rare enol tautomeric form of guanine. Tautomeric, they are the isomers which are in equilibrium. So here we have rare enol tautomeric. Now after the first replication, here we got a wrong base pairing between G and T, and here it is the same as the parental strand. Now after the second DNA replication, we see here that out of 4 DNA, 3 are the wild types and 1 got a mutant. That is in one we got a mutation from GC to AT. So here we see a case of sickle cell anemia in which in beta globulin gene normally A is present. So this GAG, it codes for which amino acid? Glutamic acid. And due to mutation, when A is replaced by T, this is a single change in the nucleotide, and this sequence results in the formation of valine, which can cause sickle cell anemia. So now we come to types of mutation. Depending upon where the mutation is taking place, mutation can be somatic or germinal. In somatic mutation takes place in soma cells and it does not pass from one generation to another. Whereas in germinal mutation arises in germ line that forms gamete, and this passes on from one generation to the next. The second one is hereditary versus acquired. Hereditary, as the name suggests, it passes on from parents to the offspring, and in acquired mutation, the mutation is acquired during a person's lifetime due to various environmental factors, that could be radiation or during cell division. Now we come to next, that is forward versus backward. Now in forward mutation, the phenotype changes from wild to mutant, and in the backward mutation, as the name suggests, the phenotype changes from mutant to wild type. Now if the exact reversal of the original mutation takes place, it is known as true reversion. Here we see an example that this AAA, it is a wild type, it codes for lysine. If forward mutation takes place, it forms GAA. Now here we can see G is replaced with this A. This is a mutant type. Now if true reversion takes place, this again changes back into its wild type, that is AAA. Now next is equivalent reversion. In this, a mutation does not generate original condition at gene level, but it restores the wild type phenotype, that is change in codon and different nucleotide. Here we see that UCC, it is wild type, it codes for serine. Now forward mutation takes place, it forms UGC. Now here G is replaced with C and it codes for cysteine. Now if equivalent reversion takes place, it again forms AGC. Now here we can see that this codes for serine, which was our original wild type amino acid. Now next is suppressor mutation. If the second mutation that restores the function which was lost in first mutation, it is called a suppressor mutation. Now that means that it suppresses the effect of first mutation. Now suppressor mutation can be of two types: intragenic, that occurs in same gene, or intergenic, that means it does not occur in the same gene. Example, mutant transfer RNA gene. Now we come to missense versus nonsense mutation. Now in missense mutation, it alters a codon so that it specifies a different amino acid, as we have seen in the case of sickle cell anemia, where this A is replaced with U, which results in the formation of defective amino acid valine instead of glutamine. Now in nonsense mutation, it results in change of codon into a stop codon. That is, we all know that we have three stop codons: UAA, UAG and UGA. So this results in synthesis of a shortened protein. Now next we come to silent versus neutral mutation. In silent mutation, no detectable phenotype is observed after the mutation. That is, after the mutation, same amino acid is formed. In neutral mutation, after the mutation, different amino acid is formed, but they have same function. That means, as we can see in the example, that here AAA, it codes for lysine, and here we have AGA, which codes for arginine. But both of these amino acids are basic in nature, so it results in no difference in the protein function. Now we come to mutation during replication, resulting in two different kinds of mutation, that is substitution and frameshift mutation. Now further substitution mutations are of two types: transition and transversion. In transition, pyrimidine is replaced by pyrimidine, or purine is replaced by purine. So we can say we have four different transitions which can take place in DNA replication. Similarly, transversion, purine is replaced with pyrimidine or vice versa. So we have 8 different kinds of transversion which can take place. So in transition, it converts purine to purine or pyrimidine to pyrimidine, and there are 4 types of transition which are possible, and most transition results in synonymous substitution because of the degeneracy of genetic code. Now synonymous substitution means of same kind, and degeneracy means different codons coding for the same amino acid. Now next is transversion. In transversion, any purine can change to any pyrimidine and vice versa, and there are 8 types of transversions possible, and transversion are most likely to be non-synonymous substitutions. Now we come to frameshift mutation, in which extra nucleotide is inserted or deleted during replication, and this results in change in translation reading frame. As we can see in the example, this is a normal case where normal translation takes place, but in the second case an extra nucleotide is added, which results in the change of reading frame. So here is a summary of all the mutations which we have studied till now. Transition mutation, in which AT is changed to GC. Next is transversion, in which this CG is converted to GC. Then is missense mutation, in which amino acid is changed. Like here we can see, instead of lysine, glutamic acid is formed. Now the fourth one is nonsense mutation, in which a stop codon, here we can see a stop codon is formed and the protein chain is shortened. Now next we can see in neutral mutation, where lysine is changed to arginine, but both of them have same chemical properties. Now next is silent mutation, in which both the amino acids are same. And then we come to frame shift mutation, in which entire sequence is changed. That means entire reading frame is changed, which results in different amino acid formation. So here we see the effect of nonsense mutation on translation. So this is a normal protein coding gene. So after transcription, normal translation is taking place, resulting in complete polypeptide formation. And in case of mutated gene, here we can see that it encounters a stop codon, that is UAG, and premature termination of translation takes place and results in incomplete polypeptide formation. So on the basis of causative agent of mutation, mutations can be of two types, spontaneous or induced. In spontaneous mutation, mutation results from natural changes in DNA. It can occur at any point of the cell cycle, and movement of transposons, which are also known as jumping genes, they can also cause these kind of mutation. The mutation rate is 10⁻⁻⁴ to 10⁻⁻⁶ mutations per gene per generation. Now you can see it's very less. So you can see how effective is our system. And many of these errors, they are repaired by a DNA repair system. Now next is induced mutation. Induced mutation, these results from changes caused by external environmental chemicals and radiations. Now spontaneous lesion, they are the naturally occurring damage to DNA. They can be of three types: deamination, depurination, or oxidative damage. In deamination, cytosine, adenosine and guanine, they have exocyclic amino group, and loss of amino group can occur due to temperature or pH changes. Now when this deamination takes place, cytosine changes to uracil, 5-methyl cytosine changes to thymine, adenosine changes to hypoxanthine, and guanine changes to xanthine. Now directly question can come from this part. Now second is depurination. Depurination or depyrimidation, as the name suggests, loss of purine or pyrimidine by breaking glycosidic bond of DNA at acidic pH. Now pyrimidine, like cytosine and thymine, they are 20 times more stable than the purines, that is adenosine and guanine. Now third is oxidative damage. So this occurs by reactive oxygen species. Peroxide radicals, oxygen or OH can attack on DNA, which can result in G to T transversion. Now thymidine glycol also can block DNA replication. Now transposition, as you know, they are done by transposable elements, which are also known as jumping genes. So they are the DNA sequence which are able to insert themselves into DNA sequence without any sequence homology. Means they are not similar to the DNA sequence, but they can attach themselves anywhere between the DNA. They can alter the gene function either by loss of gene function or by its overexpression. Now we come to chemical mutagens. They act in three ways. They can act as base analog, they can react with nitrogenous base and cause structural changes, or indirectly by making peroxides. Now out of these we have four main chemical mutagens. So first one is base analog. Now 5-bromouracil, it has same base pairing as thymine. So if 5-bromouracil is present, it automatically will base pair with A. So it leads to A to G transition or TA to CG transition. Now here we can see 5-bromouracil making the transition from TA to CG. Now here TA is present. If 5-bromouracil is present, it will base pair with E and will lead to CG transition. And similarly, it can also lead to GC to AT transition. Now similarly, we come to aminopurine, which also works in the similar way and causes T to C transition, or we can say TA to CG transition and vice versa. Now next is deaminating agent. As the name suggests, that it removes the amine group, and this we have studied in previous slides, that it removes NH2 group and from all the bases except for thymine, because it does not have any amine group. So as an example, adenine, when nitrous acid, which is a deaminating agent, is added, it converts it into hypoxanthine. Now next is alkylating agent. So you just remember some of these agents, because sometimes the straightaway questions can come from the names only. So ethyl methane sulfonate, methyl methane sulfonate, nitrosoguanidine, and so on. So what they do, they just modify the bases so that the transition takes place. Like if G is modified by adding EMS, it pairs with T, so it leads to C to T transition. Similarly, when in T EMS is added, it converts to O4 ethyl guanine, which pairs with G and leads to A to G transition. Now we come to intercalating agent, which can add single nucleotide insertion or deletion, which we know can result in frame shift mutation. So you just remember some of the examples like ICR 170, ICR 191, acridin orange, and the most common one ETBR, which we use every day in our labs. So what they do, they unwind the double helix and can cause, as we have discussed, the frame shift mutations. Now we come to one test, that is Ames test, which is used to detect mutations. So it has come in CSIR question, so that's why we are discussing it. So it is an inexpensive method which is used to screen possible carcinogens and mutagens. Now what are carcinogens? They are the agents which can cause cancer. Now in this test, histidine auxotrophs. Now what are auxotrophs? They are the mutant organisms that require a particular nutrient which the normal strain does not. So in this we use histidine auxotroph of Salmonella, which requires histidine to grow. That means if histidine is present, then only it will grow. And they are mixed with rat liver enzymes and plated on a media lacking histidine. So if histidine is not present on the media, they should not grow, right? So now liver enzymes are required to detect mutagens that are converted to carcinogenic forms by the liver. So next, test chemical is added to the medium. The control plates will show less number of revertants because the bacterial cells will not grow without histidine. They are auxotrophs. And the plates inoculated with mutagens will show a large number of revertants. Why? Because auxotrophs will not grow without histidine unless a mutation has occurred which has converted them into prototrophs. Now this is the control where we have added the rat liver extract to the Salmonella strain which requires histidine. So we see that in the control there are very less bacterial colonies, whereas in the condition where we have added the mutagens, there is a very high number of revertants which has converted from his negative to his positive. Now one more important thing, that Ames test is also required to identify what kind of mutation is there. Either it is frame shift mutation or the base substitution mutation. Now how can we detect mutation? Now deletions, insertions or rearrangements, they can be detected by restriction enzyme digestion followed by gel electrophoresis, southern blotting and probing with the candidate gene or by PCR region of the candidate gene. So a question came in 2013 December part B. A cis-trans complementation test is carried out to find 1. If two mutations are allelic in nature, if two genes are interacting with each other, the number of genes influencing a phenotype, or to understand the dominance or recessive relationship between alleles. And the answer is 1. If two mutations are allelic in nature. So always remember that a cis-trans complementation test is used to identify if two mutations are allelic in nature. Now in the same year, the question came in part C, That is the 4-mark question. Ames test is used to evaluate mutagens in the environment. Which of the following statements are true about this test? So the options are: mutagenic effect of a compound is tested using an auxotrophic strain of Salmonella typhimurium, or second, the mutagenic effect of a compound is tested using his strain of E. coli. Third, using appropriate strains, compounds causing base substitution and frameshift mutations can be distinguished. Third, liver enzymes are important as they are inactive by test compounds to evaluate its mutagenicity potential. Or fifth, many compounds may have to be converted to bioactive metabolites, which is carried out by the enzyme from the liver. So we have to choose which of the following statements are true about the Ames test. So the correct option is 3. So first statement, third statement and fifth statement are correct. Now this question came in December 2014, part B, that 5-bromouracil is a base analog that can cause mutation when incorporated into DNA, which is the most likely change that it induces. So these are the 4 options. And the correct answer is first, that is TA to GC transition. So this question came in December 2014, part C. So this is a amino acid sequence given, and a mutant for gene X is isolated following a treatment with mutagen, and the sequence is changed to this. Now the question is, which of the following mutagens is most likely to be have used? So the correct answer is 4, acridin orange, because here we can see that it has induced a frame shift mutation, because all the sequences, the reading frame have been changed, resulting in different amino acid. So this can be done with acridin orange. Now this is also a straightforward question. It came in December 2015, part B. Which of the following chemical is a DNA intercalator? So remember what are DNA intercalators? So you can easily answer this question. So the correct answer is answer to acridin orange. Now this is the question came in 2016, part B. Which of the following mutagens is likely to result in a single amino acid change in a gene product? So the correct answer is answer 3, EMS, which is an alkylating agent. So this question came in June 2018, part C, that is a 4-mark question. Although it looks very complex, but it is rather easy. I can say it's a match the following question. So if you know the basic, you can easily do this. It is not directly linked to mutation, but there are one option which if you know this, you can easily do. Like for example, this is the 5-fluorouracil. We know it is a pyrimidine analog, and here you can see that there is only one option having this. Second, you can see that paclitaxel, which is commonly known as Taxol, we know it is an alkaloid. So there is only one option having this. So it is option 4. Now this question is also a straightforward question, that deamination of bases is a common chemical event that produces spontaneous mutation. So which of the following will be formed by deamination of 5-methylocytosine? And the answer is second, thymine, which will be formed by deamination of 5-methylcytosine. So thank you guys for watching this video. Now if you have any doubt in any topic, you can write in the comment section. Next video will be on DNA repair. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share.